You are doing dry January. Congratulations. You have almost made it the entire month.
Just a couple more days. Dry January, of course, is a challenge that a lot of people take to stop drinking for an entire month.
But if you are struggling, there is a less restrictive way to do this. It is called Damp January, and it has its benefits too. And our happiness professor, Christine Whelan from the UW School of Human Ecology, is back with us. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, so talk about this, the avoiding for a month.
So the idea...
Nothing new.
No, this is nothing new. The idea is that in December, you know, you may overindulge a little bit. And then in January, it's back to business. And there are some people who say, actually, a reset is good. So dry January, no alcohol for the 31 days of January, right? You know, really kind of go for it. Now, other people say, actually, that this restrictive approach is not the best one, that a damp January approach, a sort of moderation kind of approach rather than a zero-sum game is the better way forward. So instead of doing a sort of a strict diet, maybe more like intuitive eating, but this time for alcohol. And the research says that that is actually pretty great too. So if you tend to drink 2 glasses of wine and you cut it to 1, well, maybe you're doing damp January. Here's the challenge, though. People who do dry January are much more likely to stick with it and really reduce their intake. So
it's better to have the willpower to just do it rather than try to be easy on yourself.
This is actually it. So if you set the higher bar, people tend to rise to the occasion. Now, obviously, you don't want to feel like maybe you have just sort of failed or quit in some way, but maybe you want to maybe you want to sort of reach higher. So I have now. You know, of course, we are at the end of January.
Yes.
So you're probably saying, now wait a second, is this in the past? Here's the awesome part about behavior change. February's coming.
Right.
And
It's got fewer days too.
And it's got fewer days, and it's the Lunar New Year. You can you can do a reset anytime you want, and that's the whole point of these things: is setting a date, doing something different, and really taking care of your health.
Now, you have actually done this. You're doing this.
I am in the process of doing this.
So
You've had some dramatic results.
You're walking the talk here, and I love this.
Absolutely am. So I am getting married in March, and so what we are doing is we are actually abstaining from alcohol for January, February, and most of March. And I got to tell you, I am sleeping better. I have lost a significant amount of weight, and I have more energy. I have heard from folks who are doing damp January that they have some of these benefits, but for those who are doing a dry January or a dry February, that's when the real benefits kick in. Even a little bit of alcohol messes with your sleep. You know, you hear that all the time, but when you experience it yourself, it really is real. So as the happiness professor, I gotta tell you, I have a little more bounce in my steps.
So I have to ask, how much were you drinking prior to January?
So the thing is, I wasn't drinking that much, except that what I really liked was cocktails.
Okay.
And they have so much sugar in them.
Yeah.
They're also kind of tasty, so like maybe you have 1 cocktail and then your sort of inhibitions go down and you might have a second. So I've never been a big drinker.
Okay.
But you know, tasty beverages are tasty beverages, right? So for me, I'm going cold turkey for the foreseeable future, and maybe we'll ease back, maybe not.
You know what? That's so great to hear that you said you've experienced some major changes.
Major changes
from really doing something minor.
Very minor.
In your life, you know?
And you still see those changes even if you do everything in moderation, right? If you're not one of those people that can just stick to it, to give yourself a little bit of grace, you'll see some benefits to it
Absolutely.
too. Yeah.
Any steps you take really does improve your health. But just know that it actually is quite possible, and the little changes can have big rewards. So I hate to be one of those very perky people that say it really did help, but it really did help.
We'll have to check in on you in March, right before the big day.
Absolutely.
To see how things are.
I look forward to it.
Okay, so do we. Thank you very much.
Good to see you as
Great
always.
to see you.
Well, coming up a little later, how to sleep.